Hey, this is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in City Builder Ancient World. This is a tile placement game with a really interesting mechanism to encourage player interaction, but in a unique way. So in City Builder, you are building a city using these tiles. So you're placing these tiles on the board, building your own little city. It doesn't interact with other players in itself. And you're trying to complete districts that have a few different requirements in them. I won't go into the details of that here. You can watch a rules video about those requirements. But the kind of the core thing you're doing in creating these districts is pairing same color buildings. So here's a tile with a blue building on it. There's also a blue building over here. And so I might try to create a district with at least two blue buildings in that district. If, however, and this is the catch and this is the creative mechanism in the game, there is a blue building available on this tile. This is a dual layered player mat. It's actually a triple layer because there's a cooperative side. It's a competitive and a cooperative game. We played a 5-player competitive game. This tile is between me and the player on my right and between me and the player on my left. And whenever I want to build a building based on a district that I've completed or a district that I've already completed, you can go back into the past and say, okay, here's a district I've already completed. I completed before, and now a building is available for it. You look at the buildings that are on the ends of the mat. So if this side of the mat is closest to me, and there is a blue building here, and say a red building here, and a orange building here, then since I completed a district with the blue building, I could take it off this space right here and put it in that district. However, if there isn't a blue building there, I cannot do that. Although I could look to the player on my right, say if this is the player on my left, I could look at the similar mat next to the player on my right and grab that blue token, that blue building. This push and pull, well, it's not really push and pull, but it gives you a sense of urgency against your neighbors because these are points that you're gaining. So if I really focus on this row, if there's like and these are buildings are randomly set up here on these mats at the beginning of the game, and completely randomly. And so say there's a blue and then a bunch of greens and then another blue and a red. I could say, okay, I really want to go after these buildings because there's escalating points. If I just make this building, it's worth 1 point. But if I gain this building, I get 1 point plus 2 points at the end of the game. This works all the way up to 4 points. These purple ones are tough to get, but you can pull it off. And then you can even keep on going to the other player's side. And the lineup ends when there's only one building left in that row. So say I build all the way here. I take this building off, and there's 2 buildings left, and the other player builds this building. Then this row is dead. You can no longer, this building just stays here. That row is dead. But it creates this sense of urgency along each row of buildings of who is going to be the first player to get, especially to the middle, and then maybe even a little bit past the middle to grab as many points as possible from that row because they escalate. They de-escalate a little bit on the back end, but 3 points is still worth quite a bit more than maybe the tile that you're using with the player on your right. So it's a really interesting element of player interaction, and it also helps focus you a little bit in terms of which colors of buildings that you're going after on this map. I just thought that was a really, really interesting use of giving you a reason to pay attention to the players to your left and your right, giving you options because you always have or almost always have 6 different buildings available for you to obtain. And I like that you can go back to the past. If I complete a district that has a blue building and there is no blue building available on either of my mats, then I can go back later when a blue building is exposed and put it on there. It's not too late to do that. Yeah, that's my favorite mechanism in City Builder Ancient World. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below if you've played it or if you've seen a similar mechanism to this in any other game. Thanks.